right, well, a very important part of the MR2 project has arrived. This is my 2GR 3.5 liter dual overhead cam coil on plug Toyota powerhouse. But in all seriousness, once the computer is tuned on this thing with no other internal modifications or anything, just computer tuning, it's 280 horsepower. So that's a lot for this little car. So we're going to go ahead and get this thing out of here. And yeah, we're going to get this thing out of here. I don't know what else we're going to do. Good morning, everybody. I am in the shop with the MR2 today. We are going to be working on our new engine. I guess I haven't really talked about it yet. I just picked it up the other day. It is a 2GRFE from a 2008 Toyota RAV4. I'm working with Frankenstein Motor Works. He's sending me a reflash computer that allows this thing to run. It deletes all the security features and stuff that will keep it from running if it's not in a car, basically. And it does some tuning, and you know, it just makes it so it's kind of not completely standalone, but yeah, you can make it run in this car. So what I need to do though is I'm gonna have to do some massive modifications to this wiring harness. I gotta strip a bunch of stuff out. So the first thing I need to do with this motor is just go ahead and get this entire wiring harness off of here and strip anything else that's unnecessary. So I'm going to start doing that. I'm going to label some of the plugs just so I have an idea, but I have access to schematics that basically show from Frankenstein Motor Works that show what every single wire in this harness does. So that's where I'm going to start with. I'm going to start stripping this thing down. At this point where I need to bolt this transmission up to the engine, and I just can't bring myself to do it because this thing is disgusting. I got this nice clean engine, I got a clean car, clean engine bay. I cannot throw this nastiness in here, so I need to drain this thing out. Probably do some scraping on it, plug up any holes, and this thing needs to be pressure washed. It's just too nasty to go in like this. Probably should get these axles out. Actually, I'll leave those in to keep that sealed up, that part of the case sealed up. So that's next. I'm gonna pull a couple things off this, drain it out, scrape it, and then we'll get it cleaned up before we try to bolt it to the engine. Alright, I was sitting here pondering what I was going to do with this transmission, and got to notice that my packages have arrived. So pretty sure this is MR2 stuff. Let's see what we got here. Dragon fire. Of course. Whoops. Gonna be perfect. Man, this thing is pretty light. Oh, that feels great. Yeah. I mean, it's not a Sparko or anything, but it's pretty nice to me. Take this off. Not sure why they give you a little sampling of the material. But yeah, I'm pretty happy with that. That's gonna look good in there. I got a steering wheel disconnect, which is another thing, quick disconnect, which is another thing I've always wanted in a car, you know, race car stuff. So we got our steering wheel. The other thing that came in was this big old box. So let's see what's in here. Man, can't believe I went with 3-inch. Okay, so we got some tubing bins. These are 3-inch. I got 4 of those because I'm gonna have 3-inch dual exhaust on this thing. At least that's the plan. I might change it, but nah, yeah, definitely 3-inch dual exhaust. This is 1 3/4 inch, I believe, and that's what's going to come out of the header. So that's let's see. Oh yeah, collectors. So this is going to allow us I'm gonna have to look at what I ordered because that doesn't look like what I ordered. J-pipes, J-bins, and that's what they are going to be for building the headers out of. So I've got I got 8 of these. We got 6 cylinders, so I'm hoping that we have enough to make this happen. I'm thinking that we're only need to use 6 of them, but we'll see. It's always good to have extra stuff like this laying around too. All right, so it turns out I ordered the wrong merge collector. Both ends are too small. This is 1.5 into 2.5, I believe. And I need 1 3/4 to 3-inch. So those are going back. I'll get the right ones on. I've already got the right ones on the way actually. So I need to send these back to Summit, which is a bummer. But new ones will be here. I'm not ready to build the exhaust anyway, so it'll be fine. Good morning, everybody. It's another day in the shop, and it's freezing outside. So unfortunately, I cannot take this transmission, which I've had draining out overnight, and pressure wash it. I've already done a little bit of scraping on it. I guess I could probably do some more, but I'm gonna move on to something that I can do, and what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna mount the seats. So I just got that one set in there right now. I need to get in there and figure out how I'm actually gonna mount these things. So my goal is to get at least the driver's seat. I mean, sure, the passenger seat's gonna be mounted in the same way, but to get it as low in the car as possible. So that's where we're headed. So I don't know if you can tell, but the seat is pretty much as low as it can be in the car because it's actually sitting down in this area here. I think the factory seat mounted on top of here or something. I think there's one of the bolts, so kind of wrapped around. So that's really where I want it, but the problem is I can't reach any of the hardware, so I'm gonna have to figure out how I'm gonna actually bolt this thing in. It might just be going straight through the floor or something. I don't know. We'll see. All right, so here's my seat bracket and slider setup. I would like to use this, but the problem is I'm not gonna have access to this you know, unless I raise the seat up or unless I cut this out of here. But this is a brace for the car, so I really don't want to cut that out. But the old seat brackets, you can see, are mounted here and here. So we're not even anywhere close to those bolts at this point. So what I'm going to try first is I'm going to go ahead and just pull the slider assembly all the way off of this thing, and then see if maybe we can just bolt it straight through the floor. Because if you look at these seats, they got multiple holes in the bottom of the seat to mount stuff. And if that doesn't work, or if we need to raise it up a little bit, we'll put the seat slider back on, and we'll use this bracket, which is actually from the Bronco, first generation Bronco that these came out of. They had these brackets on them for it. So, but they're real simple, flat brackets. Anyway, okay, let's pull this thing off, pull these off, stick it back in the car, see what it looks like. All right. As far as seating position goes, low, it's about as low, it's as low as it can get. Problem is, I'm really stretching. I'm pretty much at full stretch to push the clutch pedal all the way in. I'd like to be probably at least 2 inches further forward than this. So this is gonna get interesting. I'm thinking about just utilizing the sliders and ditching this bracket altogether, or utilizing the sliders and the bracket but taking these washers out if I can to bring it down that little bit there. So we need to go about 2 inches forward to where it is, probably about right there. I mean, if I was mounting it up here on this thing, it would be pretty much perfect, but that's a good 2.5 to 3 inches up off the ground. And that's going to cause me a lot of problems, I think. I mean, you can always lean the seat back further. I don't know. I guess I should probably try it. But you know what? That feels a lot better. Man, I'm too high though. I'm going to lean the seat back in order to get to a position where I can drive. So what I think I'm going to do is that's what I'm going to do. Okay. All right, so that's where we are now. I mean, that, for my legs, it's very comfortable. For my head, it's kind of tight. So what I think I'm going to do actually is mount it at an angle. I'll take, here, we can try it out. Let's put this up right here. All right, so let's try. Let's take out one 2x, well, I guess it's a 2x6, not a 2x4, but doesn't really matter. All right. There we go. So we keep the front of the seat up kind of on this thing, and then we put the back down. Of course. Had it perfect. So put the back down. Oh, that already feels way better. Okay, here we go. So we're still, problem is, man, might have to make a little bubble on here because I think I'm just gonna have so much problems with headroom. But that feels pretty good on my legs. So I mean, we could even go further than that and give it a full lean back. So we take all of this out, bring it back here. Seatbelt is in the way again. That's actually a lot better, I think. So we're gonna have our steering wheel disconnect, which is gonna push this out a little bit. So that'll be about there. That's comfortable. This is actually got a tilt wheel in it, so that's comfortable. Legs comfortable. I think that's why we're gonna run it. Let's get to actually mounting this thing. All right, well now I need to decide whether I'm going to use this Bronco bracket. Because right now it's kind of feeling more like a hindrance than anything. I could pull this off and then we'll just have the rails. That'll get us down not much more at all, but the bolts from this are kind of interfering. All right, that is pretty comfortable for me. Actually, I need to go forward just a smidge. It's that clutch pedal. Well, one click forward, that's pretty good. You know, something like that. I gotta put a hook in here or something, you know? Hang my steering wheel once I have the disconnect. That's all she wrote for today. I gotta go pick my son up from daycare, but hopefully tomorrow morning we should be able to put that second seat in. Should be a little easier now because we know what we're doing. I'm gonna mount it in pretty much exactly the same way. Yep. And we'll move on to something else as soon as that's done. All right, there they are. They look pretty nice. I wiped them down. Well, I cleaned them. I scrubbed them pretty good, and then I wiped them down with this 303 protectant. They're not a sponsor or anything, but this guy that I watch on YouTube called... Anyways, this detail guy that I watch on YouTube, he recommends this 303 stuff. So I got this, and so far I've used it on a couple things, and it's great. Really clean these seats up real nice, and it didn't give it like a super shiny look like Armor All would or something like that, but it's just like a nice clean and kind of just a little bit of sheen to it. But so that's gonna be it in the interior for now. Later on today my steering wheel disconnect is going to come, so hopefully I can get that put on. So I guess now is the time to take the transmission outside and pressure wash it. And you can catch that and more on a future episode of DJ's Hot Rod and Fab. Thank you guys for watching. We'll catch you on the next one.